Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this next guest for our live Fireside Chat made her film debut in the 1985 A Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Revenge, which was shot during her first summer break she had from college. She was the BFF to the Jesse Walsh character that was played by Mark Patton. You are all my children now. She also was able to flip the script and play the heel, as she did in the 1998 crime drama mystery film Letters from Home with Patrick Swayze. The fans will get so into this with the Q&A session here. So let's go ahead and welcome the guest of honor, Miss Kim Myers. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you are with us live, welcome. And if you're joining the tape version, it'll be on YouTube, welcome as well. But there'll be a different introduction for that, because I actually did a nice little video for our guest of honor tonight for the Fireside Chat, which you know her from obviously Nightmare on Elm Street 2. She was the lead female. She's famously known for an episode of Seinfeld as Pam, which it was funny, I was watching as she was emailing me the other day. We're confirming everything. Hellraiser, Bloodline, TV movies, TV shows, you name it. Kim Myers, how are you?
I'm great, you guys. I'm doing well. Thank you.
And thank you for agreeing to do this. And for everybody in the room, I do have a list. We got questions, and some folks are getting some autographs, which is great. I'm actually going to put myself on a list. I'll have to make arrangements with Kim for the tape, but we'll do that off air. Certain business isn't done on air. But so I'm going to go through our list because I had my time with Kim in a good way, in the interview sense. I got to ask a lot of my questions. And these fireside chats are about the fans and let the fans directly ask. Because I feel I'm spoiled. If I want to ask Kim a question out, I can shoot her that email, whatever. But like I said, it's not about me. So I'm going to go ladies first because she's the only lady joining this. Miss
Yay.
Latrice yeah, Latrice is a trooper, Kim, more than you should know, or more than you know at the moment here. But Latrice out of Plano, Texas. I'm gonna let you start off with your question.
Yes. Well, Kim, first of all, thank you for being here with us. I just wanted to know, how was it working with Mr. Robert England?
Yeah, great question. And I think any of us who have participated in the Elm Street world franchise, that's one of the favorite questions for good reason and obvious reason. And it was honestly, and um, it doesn't matter how often I say it because it's so truthful. It was wonderful. I mean, I was brand new to film. I had been in a student film as this high school senior, but I didn't have the chops. I didn't have the experience, of course. And these people, everybody else that was in this film and on this film had a great deal more experience than I had. And I have to say, across the board, just a little side note, across the board, I was treated so well by really everybody involved. But so Robert, let's get to Robert. I had not seen the original when I got cast in this movie. I was not a big horror film fan, but of course I would have had to have been living under a rock if I had not heard of A Nightmare on Elm Street, right? So of course I knew it. I knew of it. I heard it was a big success. I heard of the character Freddie England. But I hadn't met Robert and I hadn't seen him in his Freddie makeup until this one particular day. I can't remember where fell in the shooting schedule. But I had said to people, please, whatever you do, don't let me, I don't want to see Robert in his makeup. I really want to just be completely surprised and in the moment for the horror of seeing Freddie,
Uh,
right, quote unquote. And anyway, I was sitting on set one day. I think we were at the power plant. I'm pretty sure that's where we were. And I was sitting there with my script, and I was by myself. You know, there was hustle bustle all around me, but I was essentially by myself in this particular space in my chair reading. And a gentleman's voice approached me from like my over my right shoulder. Excuse me, very friendly. They're so friendly and welcoming. And excuse me, are Kim, we haven't met yet. And I thought, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. And this very normal arm, I've told this story before, so forgive me if you've heard it, but the very normal man's, I guess, right arm came around my shoulder, and I said, I went to shake his hand, and I look up, and it's Robert in full heavy makeup. So there went the moment, right? And anyway, that was just that's a little tiny example of the kindness that Robert operates from, the professionalism. He knew I was a novice and he wasn't patronizing. There are some actors, some people in that environment who, because they have the experience or wherever they're at in their psyche and their ego, hi, welcome. Um, might go into a patronizing kind of ego. Let me teach this kid. So
right.
he was the opposite of that. He treated me as an equal. I felt so welcome, and he was still terrifying. So it was all fine that I met the context of the story. So honestly, it was great. I mean, even I think of the rap party, we all went. You know, it's tradition when a shoot wraps to have what's called a wrap party, and the cast and crew get
Mhm.
together and they're just, you know, it's because you've it's such a it's such a unique and intimate in a way, even though there's a hundred people involved, but you're all working for the collective, the common goal, which is this creative endeavor, right? And so, anyway, at the wrap party, he was just lovely, so encouraging and so positive, and so I started on a good note with him. I finished the film, you know, including the wrap party, which would kind of bookended the whole experience, that particular experience, with just such a positive feeling from him and just associating with him. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes. And then years after, you did a Hellraiser movie with Doug Bradley. Did you get a chance to interact with him at all?
That was very different. That was very
Uh,
different because he wasn't a kind person. I just didn't get to know him at all. He
right.
maintained his very terrifyingly stoic pinhead presence
Right.
whenever I was around him. And so there wasn't an opportunity. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel natural to even
Right.
want to engage with him in that kind of way. Since years and years and years since, I'm talking 20, 25-ish years, I've seen him at a couple of shows, and I finally feel like I've met Doug Bradley because he's
Uh-huh.
so lovely and wonderful and easy to talk with. So, anyway.
Thank you, Latrice.
Hmm.
Always
Thank
the
you.
intelligent questions, and she's a peach. Once you get to know her and put up with my circus monkey mind, but that's a whole nother deal. So after I want to bring one more person up because he's on limited time. Then we're going to alternate between people just asking questions and people who have questions and getting the autograph. Bob White, I know you're on a limited time. Did you have something you wanted to bring to the table as far as questions and all that stuff? You, as a theater guy. Or did we lose Bob?
We lose Bob.
Bob,
What
I'm gonna
about Bob?
yeah, we're gonna steal
I
the
think he
line from the
stepped
movie.
away.
Yeah,
Okay,
he definitely
so
stepped away.
okay, so I am just gonna go next man up. I want to welcome newbie, Mr. Emmanuel, who was so excited to talk to Kim. Emmanuel is from Mexico.
Oh,
So, Emmanuel, what kind of questions do you have for Miss Myers?
Hi, Kim. Nice to meet you.
hi, Emmanuel. It's nice to meet you.
Well, I just have a couple of questions for you. It's been a while because first things first, you are awesome. It was so hard trying to find you on Instagram, and when I did, I was so excited when you accepted my request and all that stuff. But it's so nice to meet you finally, and so nice to see you in person, but in a virtual way. And I just have a couple of questions for you. The first one would be, after Nightmare 3, some of the characters came back for third part or fourth part and stuff like that. Would you have liked to return as a character after that, after Nightmare 2, or you are good with the way your character ended after Nightmare 2?
Oh, thank you. That's a great question. Yes, I would be thrilled to return and, you know, yeah, yeah. I mean, I would be curious to know to imagine what that would look like, but absolutely, I'm proud of being part of this franchise. I'm proud of our movie. Again, I had a great experience. It really helped start my career, and I made at least one particular lifelong friend in Mark Patton. So it's very dear to me. And oh, it would be so much fun. Yeah, it would be great. So,
And well, let's put this in a hypothetical way. If somebody asks you right now to go back to the series, would you do that, or would you rather to have that when you were younger or with less experience, or how would that be?
no, I would absolutely be interested. I would be, I think some of it would depend on, you mean come back as Lisa, or is it
Yep.
a totally different? Yeah, no, I think that would be so interesting because it would be fun to see what the writer, said writer would create for Lisa.
Yeah, but because I think we have seen Jamie Lee Curtis go back to Halloween and Sigourney Weaver go back to Alien, and it would be great for you to go back to the Nightmare series, and it's one of my favorite franchises, and how can I say this the right way? I think that you are one of the third characters that was always wasted, never to go back, and after all that, you are the prettiest one. So we would love to see you back again.
I thank you so much. That's so kind. And I honestly, it would be fascinating and I think a lot of fun. I would jump at it.
And my second and last question for you, I don't want to drag this long way. I have here my copy of Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2, and you are right here. I think that Part 2 is one of the most terrifying posters in the whole series. How does it feel to be part of this? This is like an iconic image in horror history. How does it feel to be part of history, in horror history?
Thank you for that question. I haven't thought about it that way, but I really appreciate that question because I think there's real truth to that. I think it's thrilling in so many ways that it just makes me think of this focusing on the poster, on the imagery, right? When the film came out on Halloween in it was 85, right? I think it was 85. We shot it in 85. They were just like boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
I was in college in upstate New York, and friends of mine said, let's go into the city to see the movie. And I said, okay. And so we drove down, and there it was, smack dab in the middle of the gigantic billboard of that image in Times Square. And I was just like, oh, like a deer in head, but I mean giddy. It was thrilling. It was so surreal. And yeah, I agree. I think that image is just haunting and just I don't know what else to say about it. But yeah, it's pretty cool and gratifying to know that I am a part of that history. And I think, if we go even broader, the 1980s version of horror films is very different. I mean, it people will attribute positive and negative aspects to that, but I think I'm proud to be part of that. Just the idea, that time period.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's awesome to meet you finally, and thank you for inviting me. And that was my last question. So thanks.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you so much.
And I do want to bring this up because the next person I'm going to bring up, who actually ordered an autograph as well, we had a first here tonight in just about 14 years. And I know we've been doing the lives, whether it's the movies or the fireside chats, not the entire time, but with Emmanuel being here and John, I know you're ready to go because so that's where I'm going. We've had people on other continents like Australia, Europe, and stuff for different things during lives. But this is a first in being that we have all of North America covered, Canada, the US, and Mexico. So I thought that was kind of cool. I was pouring myself a drink before we started to ease the nerves a little bit as I was emailing with Kim about something. And I like, it hit me. I go, wow, this is awesome. But
Mhm.
Mr. Wood,
Yes.
before we go ahead about your autograph picture, would you like to ask your question, sir?
Yes. I was wondering, hello, Kim. Again, thank you for joining us today.
Right.
I was wondering what your favorite memory was, because we've been in Elm Street with Freddy, and you've been with Pinhead, and you've been with Jerry Seinfeld. What was the deal there? And I was just wondering if you had a favorite memory for either one of those shows or in particular.
Oh, I have several. Thank you. That's a great question. I appreciate it. Several. Let's start with the what you ended with, the Seinfeld. First of all, I was
Okay.
I still am huge Seinfeld fan. And
Right.
I had just had, hmm, our first child was about 9 months old when I gave my agents the thumbs up that I was ready to get back and audition again. And it was, I think it was the first audition. And I was like just giddy and excited and nervous, just all the things.
Hmm.
And anyway, ended up getting the role. And so the first day, just being in this on the soundstage in, Jerry's living room, that moment was just so fun and filled with, I mean, I just was pinching myself, but of course I'm there to do a job. Um, and I had such a good time, such a fun time. I have to highlight Jason Alexander, George. They were all lovely. They really were. He went the extra mile to be welcoming and so encouraging and right there. Uh, and that's a fond memory. That's a really sweet memory from that experience. And being able to film in front of a live audience. I have done theater. I haven't done an extensive amount of theater, but I have done theater and I love theater for the
Me too.
immediacy of it and the connection, having the audience present. And so having that um, similar dynamic was thrilling, a little terrifying at some points, but because it's like you said, like I'm saying, it's the audience is right there. Um, but it was just great fun, really great fun. And then Elm Street, shooting I'll call it the finale scene or the confrontation scene, Lisa and Freddie. That was daunting in so many ways, just the physical logistics, the volume of action that and the details and how it was broken up and we didn't have, it was a short shoot. The entire film we shot, I think in what was it, 20, it was 5 weeks, I think, which is not a lot of time. Anyway, it was so gratifying because everybody showed up, and we just had to jump in. And that's always been just I just remember feeling really like, for Lisa, for myself, for just film, good memory,
Good on. Now, Lisa, I probably should have asked this because I know I mentioned it to her when doing everything. But Lisa, do you have the photos handy with you
And
that
are
you
you
sent
talking
me?
that or are you
The 8
talking?
by 10s. Yeah, do you have those 8 by 10s handy?
Wait, are you talking to Kim or Lisa?
Excuse me, Lisa or Kim? Yeah,
It's all right.
yeah,
Okay.
Kim.
I don't, but they're
Okay,
handy.
we will take care of
They're
that.
very close.
So I will send you a list of what's what then, of who's got what, and as part of that post-show email, then we will just move on then. So let me go ahead and go back to tech. Or you know what? Let me go a little eastbound from Mr. Wood and Mr. Aaron from A and B Horror Movies.
Yes,
Because I know
I
you're
can
not
jump
feeling
in.
great. Yes,
I think it's
please.
just
What do you got?
allergies, it happens to the best of us. So, Kim, this is fantastic. Congratulations on your career. As Jonathan mentioned, I'm Aaron from A and B Horror Movies, and I'd love to have this opportunity to chat with you. My very first question for you is about the longevity of Nightmare on Elm Street at the time. So the first Nightmare on Elm Street film was very popular. The second, you were in the sequel, of course, and congratulations on that. Did you ever imagine that there would be such a longevity to the franchise, that Freddy would become such an icon, and that the fan base for Freddy's Revenge would only grow over time, and that you would be here with us so many years later talking about your film?
No, it's all been this incredible revelation. I mean, and just it's thrilling for all of us. We'll have conversation. Some of the other actors and I when we meet on the convention circuit, it's none of us. I don't think anybody could have predicted. I mean, the producers, Wes Craven, he was going to do one movie. And then he didn't have anything to do any part of ours because he was done at that, he thought. And then ours did so well at the box office that it became like, maybe this isn't a
We're
bad
onto
thing.
something.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should continue with this. So, no, I had no no idea. And I don't think I mean, I can't speak for anybody because I don't know what they're thinking, but I'm sure at least what I've understood, because Mark Patton, well, first of all, I adore Mark Patton in every which way. He's got a phenomenal memory capacity. He's got a great brain. He's so smart, really a bright, bright man. He knows a lot of the behind the scenes details that I was just not privy to. So every time I haven't seen him in a couple of years, but when I'm with him, I listen because, oh, I didn't know that either. And then I get that little tidbit of information. And to my knowledge, uh, Freddy Krueger, the character, was never intended to be the
Yeah.
the heart, if you will, of the movie or of that series. And of course, the fans became enthralled, and Robert just chewed it up and had so much fun with it that it became what it is today.
And originally, didn't they replace him with another actor? And then they realized that it could only be Robert Englund, as I understand it. And I think there's one scene in the film where you can see that it's not Robert Englund. I believe it's the shower scene. I could be mistaken. So you mentioned Mark Patton, who is a legend in his own right, just as much as you are. And I love that you are lifelong friends as a result of this. Was there a moment when you were filming where you thought, we have a connection, I'm going to be really good friends with him for many years to come? Or did that perhaps grow over time?
Thank you. That's a great, wonderful question. It grew over time, and keeping in mind that we kept in touch for a little while after we wrapped. So it was 1985. I think we started shooting in June
Mhm.
1985. Anyway, we were at he's several years older than I am. We were at very different places in our lives. So while we cared for one another and I felt close to him and I know he felt close with me. Um, we drifted. I don't even know how we drifted. It's just I went back to school. He ended
Yep.
up in the business. I'm sure many, if not all of you, maybe have seen his amazing documentary, Spring Cleaning, where he
Mhm.
talks about it and what informed his decision to leave the business. But um, so no, I didn't know that we would have this real affection for one another all these years later. That we do share this film experience and
Mhm.
there's a anyway, yeah.
Well, it's fantastic that have become such good friends. And he's returning to acting. I just watched a movie called Watchdog, where he plays opposite Alyssa Rose, and he was fantastic in it. I have one last question for you. So, since you were in A Nightmare on Elm Street, you're in a Hellraiser film, kind of a fun one here. What scares you in real life? And you can say spiders if you want.
Well, I'm going to be really boring. You just took my line.
Oh no, did I steal your moment?
It's spiders. It's ridiculous. It is so
Yeah.
irrational. My family teases me. It's what can I tell you? I
Yes.
am an arachnophobe. I
I'm
appreciate
right.
that. And
I'm
I've
right there with you.
sorry.
Yes, I'm right there with you. I still have anxiety dreams about spiders, so
Um,
makes total
I will
sense to
tell them
me.
if when they're out, I just stay outside. If you stay outside, everything's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. You
Everything's
stay over there, I'll stay over here. We're good.
come in.
Well, thank you so much,
And
Kim. This was a lot of fun chatting with you. Um,
Thank you.
well, well,
Congratulations
I
on
will.
everything.
I and Aaron will be getting a photo as well. He'll be on that list. But I'll put it this way about Mark, because Aaron brought him up. And all I will say is it says a lot about a person when it comes to anybody. And Kim had told this story on the regular episode we just recently did, and it's out there, that he did so much to stand up for her and also shoot, because she was new to the business, telling her the ins and outs and, just kind of showing her the ropes. That just shows a lot about a person that he didn't have to do that for her, but he did. And I just actually recently heard from Mark, and I'm glad he's doing okay because there were some health concerns. Mark, I can't
Mm.
wait to talk to you again, buddy. Thank you, and we all wish you well. And can't wait to see you again, buddy. But let's see. Why don't I go ahead and go back to Texas as I was gonna do, Mr. Nicholas? You said you had a question or two, so are you
Yes,
still with us?
yes,
Yeah, there you are, buddy. There he is. What do you got, buddy?
okay. So the question I have, how has meeting horror fans at convention changed your view of the movie over the years?
That is a really good question because it's because of the fans that well, let me rephrase that. Realizing the continued impact decades later of our film and all the other Elm Street films and horror films in general on the fans has it's just been astounding. I mean, it was really surprising. I remember the first time that I was approached to join a convention. I didn't even know these conventions. I had heard of Star Trek conventions. That's what it was just for Star Trek. I had no idea that film conventions uh, for horror films existed. And I was a little on the fence. That were really, are people actually going to this? Well, boy, where my eyes opened, it was incredible. So yeah, it's, because I think I was going to say, maybe not so much now, but around, I would say in the 80s, as popular as these movies were and continue to be, but at that time, there was a little bit of a stigma among some people about being in a horror movie. Like it was a little less than, it wasn't quite up to par. And seeing like I'm saying, the impact on so many, many people who really appreciate the art of horror films and appreciate the story and appreciate the characters. That's changed my view for sure. That definitely shifted my perspective for sure. Hope that answers your question.
Thank you for answering the question.
Thank you, Nick. So let's go ahead and take a little drive over to Tennessee, Georgia line. Mr. Milling, I know you got something, so what do you got, buddy?
I do have something. A couple of my questions have been answered already. But I was wondering, what is your preferred genre to work in? Because I noticed that you've done a variety of different genres. What is the most, for you as an actress, what's the most enjoyable genre to work in?
Thank you for the question. Um, I mean, I've done a lot of drama. I would say more on the serious, dramatic tone, movies and television. Um, and I do find that really gratifying. I just love a good story. It, However, I'm going to say I dabbled in comedy very little, but had so much fun. I thought, oh, I get it. Not that I wouldn't say it's easy necessarily. It's definitely not easy, because comedy, good, really great comedy, I think, is always rooted in realism, in a level of authenticity. The humor comes from this. Like, I mean, take Seinfeld, for example. It's the series about the mundane, everyday things of life, but their commitment to really owning and standing by those, whatever the topic is of the episode. Anyway, so to your question, what matters to me more than anything is a great story, good writing, and an interesting character. So it could be comedy, drama, it could be, I would love to do something from, I don't know, some kind of period movie. Um, I think that would be a lot of fun. And my family is from England. Well, my dad, my mom's from Ireland. I would love to do shoot something in London that is of, that has an English kind of setting or
Right.
new line, something like that. Anyway.
That's a great answer. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Matt. Billy, down in Florida, Mr. Movie Dogs. What do you got, buddy? Billy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my.
yeah, I'm right
There
here.
he is. There he is.
I was curious about when you read the script to the second film. Um, did you happen to notice any of the innuendos, sexual innuendos that were showcased in the movie? That, I mean, I never noticed it watching it when I was young. It was had to be pointed out to me in the documentary "Never Sleep Again." But did you like? Oh, when you watched it, did you like? Okay, that was you know something that was weird, or at the time, of course, it was looked upon as that way. But Did you ever catch any of that when you read the script or had discussions with the director?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. No, I didn't at all. I mean, the coach was obvious. That was blatant. That was on the page, the high school coach. But anything else, I did not. It didn't strike me that the way some people have to talk about it now and what has been interpreted now. I really didn't. And no, and definitely no conversations. I wasn't privy to any conversations around that. For me, it was a story of, it was a love story. It was literally good versus evil. And Lisa's love for Jesse and Lisa stepping into her power and discovery of the kind of strength and fearlessness that she was capable of.
I do have to say though, yeah, you're right about the love story part. I think it's probably the only love story really out of all the 7 films.
Yeah.
So thank you
Yeah.
for answering.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I gotta jump on that for a second, if I may piggyback on Billy's question. And do you think part of that was because of where you were in life at the time? You know, you're a freshman in college, just came back to do the movie, and it was a different spot than, say, post college motherhood, except, as you're in a different spots and stages of your life that you may not have picked up on it, but then you look back and even before the documentary, you go, I see this, I see that, I see, you know what I mean? You see different things.
I hear your point, and I think there is some validity to that, certainly. But it's interesting that during the shoot, I never heard, and again, maybe this was just, I was tunnel vision and so focused, which I was, everybody was. I didn't even hear whispers about that, so I think, yeah, I mean, if I was reading it, I don't know if I was reading it now for the first time, that I think there was enough to justify the behavior as described on the page to still support how I'm describing the dynamics of the story now, if that makes any sense.
No, you're perfectly right, based on what you're saying and all. Jason, from the crypt. How you doing, buddy? And what do you have question-wise, sir?
Greetings, Kim. It's good to see you. I was at the LA Slasher World event.
Great.
I got to meet you, Ira, and Ken, and everybody. I'm actually talking to Ira right now on Instagram. He told me to tell you to say hi.
Say hi to my bro. We call each other. He's my bro, and I'm his sis. We've known each other forever. We met. Well, whatever. Sorry.
No, I want to tell us. I want to hear about what's it like being part of the fraternity of Friday actors. And it was so great seeing everyone together. Having such a great time. Kibitzing and everything.
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, I didn't work with any of them, but again, we share this connection through the whole Elm Street phenomena, and they're great people. I mean, to boot, they're all, everyone that I've met and had some time with are just, each one is just a lovely human. So sorry, did you have a question? Did I answer?
Yeah, no, I mean,
that
part. And then also, I forgot to, John, thank you for putting this event together and inviting me.
Yes, sir.
So I do the Dads from the Crypt podcast, and the director of Nightmare 2 did a great episode of Tales from the Crypt. So I've interviewed him about that, and I wanted to ask you, what was it like working with Jack?
Oh,
Jack's a mensch, by the way.
He is a mensch. He is a mensch. He's still a mensch, and he's so worldly and so kind of like nerdy worldly at the same time, and I love him so dearly. that I can say that. And I think he would just laugh, and so smart. And so he knows cinema, he knows the world of storytelling, just really well. And I had fun with him. We were all, well, I mean, I was particularly young. But everybody, obviously, we were all a lot younger. Um, he was, he, he made me laugh, probably sometimes when he wasn't trying to make me laugh, but he would make me chuckle. I had a good experience with Jack. Definitely. He was supportive. I remember there was one day, it was after the first day of filming, and he didn't realize this until later that evening or the next day. But I had worked with the wardrobe team. Everybody got their wardrobe, size. You go through all this in pre-production, right? And so there had been a particular outfit agreed upon for this one scene, and it was the scene we were shooting. It was the first day of filming, and I was super excited and also a little nervous because it was my first day on set, and I knew that Bob Shea was going to be showing up, and but anyway, but you get on with it and focus on the job, but evidently Bob showed up, and I had forgotten this, but he showed up and he took one look at me, and he like kind of gave me the once over and kind of grimaced like he made some derogatory comment about my wardrobe, and it just in that moment that my very young self was like, oh, but of course I had to forget it and stay focused. Anyway, Jack came up to me. We had shot a couple of takes, and he said, "You okay? Is there something? You seem a little off." And I couldn't tell him. I said, whatever I said. The next day, well, he either it was that evening or the next day, somebody told him that what had happened, what had transpired with Bob Shea. And he was not happy about it on my behalf. He was, like, you don't say that to an actor or actress on her first day. Anyway, but he came up to me and he said, I was a little concerned because you were off, but I have to say, I watched the dailies, and you know what? Even when you're bad, you're good. And I just burst out laughing. I said, I'm guessing that's a compliment. I don't know. Anyway, so
that's really sweet.
A Jack story.
It makes sense now that they the wardrobe department got revenge on Bob Shea for his scene in the movie.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And Jason, I just noticed your messages. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Obviously, we're good. We're good. Obviously,
Good,
that's good. The question you asked, we went there. It's good.
Okay.
Let's see who. Oh, Ray. Ray, go ahead, buddy. What do you got, buddy? Mr. New Mexico.
Hi, Kim Myers. My name's Ray, and from New Mexico, Las Cruces. I was going to ask you two questions. The first one is, what did you like playing Lisa, the character? And would you give me some pointers and advice, being an actor myself? I'm just new to the industry, and I'm just getting my feet in the door and trying to work through it.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Those are good questions. So the first one was, what did I like about playing Lisa?
Yes.
That she was heroic, that she found this heroism, this unbelievable courage to literally face a demon, and not surrender to her fear. She really kept going back to love, her love for Jesse. It was her motivation. It was everything. And that was really gratifying. It was really fun in a way because of that, because it was just, Lisa and I were both learning at the same time about this level of bravery in the face of something so scary. So that was a lot of fun. And then advice for acting, I mean, I would say act as much as you can, meaning and learn as much about the craft as you can. I think sometimes some people, obviously not everybody, but some people maybe don't approach it with the kind of understanding and the respect for the craft that it really is. You know, it is based in empathy, right? Putting ourselves in another's shoes, finding something to connect us to that person on the written page, right? So, you know, student films are a great way to get some experience in front of a camera, like college student films, if you can find a university near you or college and see if they're, you know, the film students are casting anything. That's a great intro. Classes, you know, research classes and try them out. And that's a good way to start.
Thank you, Ken Myers. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome.
Well, two housekeeping notes for, you know, because that was my fault. I am going to send everybody's autograph request to Kim, who got the photos, and it's part of an email to do just basic housekeeping notes and take care of the payment and stuff. So you will be updated on that when they go out. But I want to ask one question before we call it a night, Kim, and thank you for the time and all that stuff. But I'm curious to know, because obviously guys like Jason and the conversation's been had as far as Jack's point of view with the tongue scene when you guys were in the cabana. That Jack couldn't direct the scene. It was too funny. Yeah, Jack has told that story, and the reason I said Jack's a mensch is because he's a fellow Philly guy. Love the guy to death. I can't say nothing good things about Jack. What was your perspective on that? Because obviously you chuckled when I mentioned that Jack was laughing, had to pass it off somebody else direct the scene. So what was your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it was, again, I was the newbie, but you know, we had been working together a couple of weeks by that point. And it was just, it was funny that the director was in a position where he just couldn't contain himself. And that was the kind of almost childlike, not childish, childlike quality of Jack, which is kind of fun to be around. In the moment, that was not funny to Mark because he was suffering with this prosthetic special effect tongue. So that was not funny for him. Yeah, I mean, I think I gave it a ton of thought in the moment because there was too much else I needed to think about.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I just never heard your perspective on that because Mark obviously, like you said, was like, hey, you know, like he was miserable for certain reasons with that. Obviously, Jack he was giddy like a child, like you said. So you were the third wheel in that cog per se. So.
Right. I mean, I was wanting to be compassionate to Mark really more than anything. But
All right. Well, Kim, where is the best spot for people to follow upcoming announcements? Would it be the Instagram? Would it be the IMDb? Where would you personally send people to see that want to see updates?
I would say my Instagram. It will, you know, eventually probably shortly following would be uploaded onto IMDb, but I would say more immediately would be Instagram.
Right on. I don't want to be rude to anybody in the audience. Is there anything else before we let Miss Kim go? Because I do want to be respectful of her time. Emmanuel, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, just as a favor, you can do it or you cannot do it if you wish. I have a YouTube channel, and every year I do this like Halloween marathon for my channel, and I always play reviews for Mexican horror cinema. If you're okay with it, would you say welcome to Month of Horror 2026, please? If you're
Sure.
okay with it. Okay.
I'm fine with that. And tell me what I would be saying again. Welcome to
Month of Horror
Month of Horror. Okay.
2026 in
20.
Parallax Reviews.
And what?
Parallax, Parallax Reviews.
So it'd be welcome to the Month of Horror 2026 Parallax
Reviews.
Parallax Previews. That's all one sentence.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me say it one more time because I'm not sure. I don't want to miss anything. Welcome to the Month of Horror 2026 Parallax Previews. Is that
Thank you,
it?
Kim.
Okay.
Thank you,
want
John.
For real? Oh, was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna clip it and I will send it to you via Instagram.
I will send you the video so you can do that, and we want royalties, buddy. No, I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. Aaron, you unmuted. Do you have something?
No, I was just going to say that this was amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
course.
And again, congratulations on your career and your involvement with Nightmare on Elm Street. It's just amazing, if you ask me.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I gotta ask, because I would be a complete jackass if I didn't. Miss Latrice, the lady in a room who puts up with my nonsense, did you have something?
Yes, I had wanted to ask you, Miss Kim, about movie you did back in 1991, I believe, The Sitter. How was doing that movie? Was that different or kind of the same as the Nightmare on Elm Street or even Hellraiser?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that question. Very different. Different because I mean there are overlaps of similarity in terms of the work and I would say general similarities. But this was I was carrying the whole movie. But didn't think about it that way in the moment, but I was. So I really that was quite a journey to learn to approach Nell, that was the character, from a place of real sincere love and compassion, even though she didn't always do such nice things.
No, she didn't. But is it crazy that I did not see her as the villain? I didn't see her as the villain, even though she did those crazy things.
Yeah, thank you. No, she was such a hurt soul, in some way. She had not been treated well. Anyway, I learned a great deal. It was a really rewarding role to explore. Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Well, since we are going to let Kim go and get into our movie of the night, and Kim, I will send you over all details and everything we've discussed privately. But I do want to give a little toast to Kim. We appreciate your kindness. We appreciate your love of the fans. And we just thank you for being you, and thank you for giving us the time.
Yes.
And we wish nothing but the best for you, your husband, the kids, just everything in your circle. We appreciate and wish nothing but the best for. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Right back at you.
Salud.
Thank you. Thank you. And you please have a good night, Kim, and we'll be in touch to put a bow on everything.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Kim.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you, Kim.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.